Good morning everyone and welcome to the class. We are doing the chapter Crisis of Democratic Order, and under this chapter we have discussed the proclamation of national emergency on 26th of June 1975. We have discussed the circumstances which was prevailing at that time, and besides we have also discussed the consequences of this national emergency. What were the major consequences? And after discussing the consequences, we were doing the controversies which was associated with this proclamation of emergency. So the first controversy was that was this emergency necessary? The government imposed national emergency on the basis of internal disturbance. But if we look into the matter, we see that this emergency was not the only option which was there in front of the government. The argument which was presented by the government was that so many agitation and protest were taking place all over the country in different sections of people, different parts of the country. Agitations were going on, and because of this agitation, what happened that the government was not able to implement its developmental programs, and its main focus was only towards maintaining the law and order, because the situation was so tense that it was not able to deliver its function in a proper manner. Whatever it has promised to the people, it was not able to fulfill all those promises. It was not able to execute the welfare programs, and democracy is very important, and in democracy people have all these rights. People have right to publicly protest against the decisions of the government, but the degree of protest was such that the government was not able to deliver its duties, and these were extra parliamentary politics which were used in excess by the opposition parties, and this situation necessitated the use of emergency by the government. And it was the statement of Mrs. Indira Gandhi that because of protest the government was not able to implement the progressive programs, the welfare programs for the people. And actually these protests were an effort by the opposition government to dislodge her from power. They wanted to dislodge her from power, but in order to dislodge her from power, the way which was adopted by the opposition party was extra constitutional, because the constitutional way to dislodge the existing PM from power is only election. But it was the argument of the government, it was the argument of the Prime Minister that the opposition was trying to remove her from the post using these extra constitutional methods. So in this situation the government has no option but to impose emergency, and CPI, the Communist Party of India, was with Congress during emergency. The Communist Party was with Congress Party, and it was the opinion of Communist Party that there is some international conspiracy. Whatever was happening in India, so many agitations, so many protests were taking place in the country. These agitation and protests were getting support from outside powers because they wanted to disintegrate the country, and that is why these outside forces were supporting these agitations. So the CPI was with the Congress. Okay, and it was also of the opinion, the CPI, that the Congress government under the Prime Ministership of Indira Gandhi was aimed at welfare programs which were there to for the interest of the poor section of the society. So these welfare programs which were aimed at the welfare of the poorer section of the society, these welfare programs were not supported by the middle class. The middle class were not in support of these welfare programs of the government, and that is why they were involved in agitation and protest. So the genuine problem was not being seen by the CPI. It was considering the situation in another way, and in that way it was supporting the Congress during the emergency. But after emergency, when the results of election came, it realized that it was its fault to supported the emergency. After that, we see that these are the arguments which were presented by the government, that why it proclaimed emergency, why national emergency was proclaimed on 26 June 1975. Other than this, there were opposition parties. They were also presenting their views. The opposition party was of the opinion that it is the convention of our country to have these popular movements, because our freedom struggle was full of popular movements, and this was also one of the popular movements. So we are used to these kinds of movement. People had right, under a democratic government, people had right to publicly protest the government, and whatever protest was going on in Gujarat or Bihar, that was totally non-violent, and arrests were done even before emergency. Arrests were done. So many political leaders were arrested, but none of the political leaders who were arrested during these agitations were charged with this anti-national activity. They were not charged with any kind of anti-national activity. Moreover, the Home Ministry had also never expressed any kind of concern about the law and order situation. It was never the statement given by the Home Ministry that the law and order situation has become so bad that the government may think of imposing emergency. Nothing of this kind was speculated ever. And the government has power. The government has power. It did not need to impose emergency. Even without imposing national emergency, the government has some many routine powers through which it can control the agitation and protest. So instead of opting for a national emergency, it could have used its routine power, and by using these routine powers, the situation can be handled. But the government was not there to for the maintenance of law and order. The problem was not that law and order was not getting maintained. The problem was not that. The problem was not that there was threat to the unity and integrity of the country. Actual problem was that there was threat to the ruling party and to the Prime Minister herself, because the agitations were not against the country. The agitations were against the ruling party. The agitations were against the Prime Minister. It's whatever was done, whatever situation was there at that time, the agitation was against all these things. The agitation was not against nation, not against the integrity or the unity of the country. So, if national emergency was imposed by the government, the reason was not to protect the unity and integrity of the country, but the reason was to protect the ruling party and the Prime Minister. So this was the reason presented, this was the argument presented by the opposition party, that the imposition, the decision to impose this national emergency was totally wrong. There was no need to impose national emergency. In spite of, if it could not have imposed national emergency, even in that situation it could have controlled the situation, because it has many powers. It need not to go to use that emergency powers. So this was the first controversy कि क्या emergency की सही में ज़रूरत थी या नहीं थी. तो हमने दोनों के arguments को देख लिया, और जो हम कंक्लूड अगर हमें करना होगा तो हम we will go with the opposition party, because the government was really having enough power, routine power, through which it can control the situation. And moreover, अभी आगे हम देखेंगे कि the way in which the emergency was imposed and whatever happened after during emergency, that was also controversial. So this is also a controversy कि what happened during emergency. We have seen the consequences. We know how government misused its emergency powers. But the argument of the government was that it imposed emergency only because it wanted to bring law and order in the country, it wanted to restore efficiency, and it wanted to implement the welfare programs which were aimed at the welfare of the poor people. So what happened that during emergency the government's focus was on these welfare programs, and for this purpose the government announced a 20-point program for the alleviation of poverty. This is called 20-point program of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. This 20-point program was aimed at alleviation of poverty, and there were 20 items in this program. This is called 20 Sutri Karyakram in Hindi. Okay, so the main points in this 20-point programs were like land reforms, then land redistribution, then a review of the agricultural wages, then there should be workers' participation in the management, then eradication of bonded labor. So all these programs, all these points which I just told you, all these are focused around the poorest of the poor in the country. The landless laborers, the agricultural laborers, then the workers and bonded laborers. So it was the argument of the government that it wanted to remove poverty, and for that purpose it has announced this 20-point program, and it was not able to implement these programs during before emergency because of agitations. So during emergency this effort was done by the government. And what was the feeling of the people belonging to middle class, of the people belonging to lower class? We see lower class, we see that the middle class, urban middle class especially, they were of the opinion that now things will be fine, because we can say the popularity of Mrs. Gandhi was so much, and she has such a leadership quality that whatever we are talking about right now, that such things were done, people reacted in that way कि वो अपने पद्मश्री और पद्म भूषण को वापस कर रहे हैं. Then press में उस तरह से protest शो किया जा रहा है against this imposition of emergency. But all these things were done only by a small group of people. Majority अभी भी इंदिरा गांधी के साथ थी. मेजॉरिटी को अभी भी यही समझ में आ रहा था कि वही सही है, ठीक है. एंड देन वी सी दैट दिस व्हाट हैपेंड, दैट दिस अर्बन मिडिल क्लास, the urban middle class was of the opinion that now after this proclamation of emergency everything will be on track. सब कुछ ट्रैक के बाहर चला गया था, आउट ऑफ ट्रैक चला गया था. इतने सारे एजिटेशंस हो रहे थे, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की सिचुएशन कंट्री में सही नहीं थी, इतने सारे स्ट्राइक्स हो रहे थे, everything was going out of track. So now they were of the opinion, the middle class, urban middle class were of the opinion that everything will be fine now because emergency has been proclaimed. Now agitations have come to an end and discipline was enforced. Now everything will be okay. And on the other hand, the poor section, especially the rural poor section was also very supportive of Mrs. Gandhi because of these 20-point programs, because of her pro-poor programs, and they were of the opinion that these welfare programs now, these welfare programs will be implemented and they will get benefit from these welfare programs. So the majority was still with Mrs. Gandhi. This was the situation. But what we find that if we see whatever happened during emergency, we have seen that there was extensive use of preventive detention. Not only people were arrested, but people were not given right to go to the courts. They were not, the courts could not entertain this writ of habeas corpus. So these kind of undemocratic things were going on, but the masses were still with the government. If we see the data, actually what happened that after the end of this emergency, elections were held, and in this election Congress defeated and a new government was formed, and this government was known as Janata Party. And when Janata Party came to power, it appointed a commission, Shah Commission, and the work which was given to Shah Commission was to see whatever was done during the emergency was constitutional or not constitutional, in what way things were done. So all these functions were assigned to Shah Commission, and we see according to the report of the Shah Commission, around 1,11,000 people were arrested under preventive detention law. So just you can imagine the magnitude. 1,11,000 people were arrested using this preventive detention, and not only this, 676 opposition leaders were also arrested. So this was the these were the consequences. These were the things which were happening during emergency. The government was misusing its power. The preventive detention is given in our constitution. There is a provision in the constitution, but it is not for such a large scale use. It should be used on a rare occasion. Moreover, Article 32 has also been cancelled. People were not given right to life and right to liberty. So all these things are highly controversial. And not only this, what we find that the freedom of the press was also curtailed, completely curtailed. And it was the statement of the general manager of Delhi Power Supply Corporation. You remember I told you that after this proclamation of emergency, after midnight, what was done by the government, that the government cut the electricity to the these newspaper offices. Printing press की इलेक्ट्रिसिटी को कट कर दिया गया. I told you. So the GM of this Delhi Power Supply Corporation, he accepted. Yes, they got an oral order, not written order. In this situation, always remember, written orders are not given, because written order अगर दिया जाएगा तो वो आपके against evidence हो जाएगा, है ना. तो ओरल ये दिया गया था, ओरल ऑर्डर दिया गया था फ्रॉम द ऑफिस ऑफ द लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर. Delhi is not a yes, it was given by the lieutenant governor that power should be cut for these press offices, and power was accordingly cut because it was the command of the lieutenant governor. And after that, the power was restored after 2 to 3 days. So 26 जून को इमरजेंसी इम्पोज किया जा रहा है. रात के 2 बजे, यानी कि पावर सप्लाई कट कर दिया गया, और उसके बाद 2 से 3 दिन लगा, 2 to 3 days पावर सप्लाई आने. यानी कि you just imagine, people were not getting newspaper for these 2 to 3 days. न्यूज़पेपर नहीं मिल रहे थे लोगों को, क्योंकि न्यूज़पेपर के ऑफिसेस में पावर ही नहीं था. सो ऑल दिस वाज प्लान्ड. ये 2 से 3 दिन को यूटिलाइज किया गया सेंसरशिप लॉ को एक्टिव करने के लिए. सेंसरशिप ला दिया गया. आफ्टर सेंसरशिप व्हाट वाज द रूल, दैट नो न्यूज आइटम कैन बी पब्लिश्ड विदाउट द अप्रूवल ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. So now in order to do all these things, there is need of some time. 2 or 3 days are required in order to implement this censorship law. So this time was taken by cutting the electricity. Electricity काट दिया गया एक तरफ, और 2 से 3 दिन के टाइम लिया गया, उसमें censorship law को अच्छे से सेटअप कर दिया गया. So everything was planned. अगर हम we are not a layman, we are studying political science, so we must have that eye. उस नज़र से हमें देखनी होगी चीज़ों को. जब भी डेमोक्रेसी के लिए जो भी चीज़ें खतरनाक होती हैं, उस पर हमारी नज़र पैनी होनी चाहिए. देन ओनली वी कैन सेव डेमोक्रेसी. सो दिस वाज द थिंग. इन दिस वे थिंग्स वर डन. एक तरफ आप कह रहे हैं कि हम वेलफेयर प्रोग्राम्स करने के लिए इमरजेंसी लगाए हैं, और दूसरी तरफ आपने न्यूज़पेपर निकालने लायक नहीं छोड़ा. तो दिस वाज द activities, these were the what was done by the government. Moreover, there are some other allegations also, and what we find that there were some people in the government who were actually not holding any post in the government, but still they were using the power of the government. They were controlling the administration. And who was that person? The person was Sanjay Gandhi, the younger son of Indira Gandhi. He was not holding any post in the administration. He was not holding any post in the government. But still, he was using the power of the government. he was using the power of the administration. So what is this? This is complete abuse of power. This is complete misuse of power. This is complete undemocratic act which can never be supported. जिसको हम कभी भी support नहीं कर सकते हैं. We find that large scale displacement of people took place in Delhi, and especially in the poor localities of Delhi, the Jhuggi Jhopris. These Jhuggi Jhopris were forcibly relocated in the Trans Yamuna area, and we find that this displacement of people, and also there was compulsory sterilization also took place during this period, and this displacement and sterilization in these process, Sanjay Gandhi, his name is associated with all these things, and this became very highly controversial, because without holding any post he was using the power of the government, and that was also compulsory sterilization was taking place. In a democratic country we cannot expect this kind of activity from the government, because democracy, freedom is the basic pillar of the democracy, and this compulsory sterilization was taking place. So these are the things which were happening during emergency, and these were highly controversial activities of the government. Not only this, we find that torture and custodial deaths occurred during this period on a large scale. So many people were disappeared. There was no trace of these people. So many people were there who were simply disappeared. So all these things was happening, and the common people were facing all these things. But what was the thing? There was censorship, so people were not becoming aware of all these happenings. People were not knowing कि ये सब कुछ हो रहा है because of censorship. So this kind of situation was there in during emergency. The period was around 1.5 years, and for that period we can say that democracy was suspended in India. That is why the name of your chapter is Crisis of Democratic Order. The democratic order which was prevailing in our country from 1950, that democratic order was in crisis. The government became totally undemocratic, and we see there are some lessons of the emergency. Now our next topic is lessons of the emergency. We have seen everything. What was the situation prevailing after the 5th general election, and moreover we have also seen the large scale of support that was there for Mrs. Gandhi, and because of this support only we can say that this type of action, this type of decision was taken by the government, because the government was very well aware, in spite of its election, her election, the election of the Prime Minister became invalid according to the verdict of the Allahabad High Court. Still there was huge support for Mrs. Gandhi, and this support gave her the strength to take such a undemocratic decision. But what we find that this condition prevailed only for a very short span of time. We can say it was just for 1.5 years, and after this end of emergency, the democracy was restored, and we have learned a lot of lessons from this period of emergency, and subsequently so many changes were made in our constitution. So in the next class we will discuss the lessons from the emergency, what we learned from this period of emergency, and what changes came in our constitution because of this proclamation of emergency.